up, everybody? I'm gonna get just overexcited for a second because because it's been the longest time coming forever and ever and ever, and I've had so many podcasts with so many people, and I never thought to sit down with the one dude that I vibed up with the most about the most random stuff. That'll probably be the most interesting and thought-provoking conversations we could have. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to let me fill I got to fill this out, right? I got to build it up. I got to figure out where and how and why. So 100 million years ago, I went to college in Florida at Florida State University. I met this guy there. He was an honorary member of my then fraternity, Sigma Phi Epsilon. Shout out to the Sig Ep
Cigaps.
weirdos that we all are. And you were, and he was always in my life the whole time. And then he got me a job at none other than the famous, what was the name of the street that it was on? Tennessee? What was the name?
Yeah. Yeah,
Tennessee
Tennessee.
Street in Leon County in Tallahassee, Florida. We manage these bars called the Lower Lounge, the Irish Pub, Floyd's Music Store, and I think the Martini Bar.
Teenies.
Teenies, and it
Yeah.
was run by Charlie and managed by this guy Buddy, and then the next in command was this guy Ryan Durr. He hired me. I was his bouncer. I battered people with flashlights when they got out of hand. And
Damn. Such a
fast
time.
forward, hold on, you can't talk yet. I'm not done giving the intro.
Sorry. Sorry.
Fast forward, he moves to LA. I moved to LA. Unbeknownst to each other, we're both at Universal City one day, and our paths are aligned, and destiny brings us together. And there we are, across the world, far as we can get, not as far as we can get from Florida, as far as we can get in this country from Florida at
Mm.
Universal Studios, doing whatever. We're reunited, thick as thieves ever since. We had a great run in LA. You fell in love. You moved to Sydney. You're out there. You're making pottery. I've brought you some of my buddies like to make pots in the last couple of years. Bro, welcome to the Untitled podcast that used to be MC on the mic, and now we got to rename it something, bro. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm excited to talk to you about whatever or nothing at all, man. It's so beautiful to look at your long ass hair and your gray beard, and we match. I told Mandy the other day when I called you and or you called me on FaceTime, which is in some people's book an obnoxious move, just to when they text you to go straight to FaceTime, but it's something I love because I rather make that eye contact. So I looked across and I saw like me with my long gray hair and like you with your beard, and I'm like, man, what happened to the last 40 years? But I've spent like 20 of them with you, and I can't,
Mm.
other than raising my kid for the last 10 years, I don't remember like any parts of my life. It just is like, it feels so fleeting now. And I miss you a lot, and you're out there. And this seems like the best scenario I could have is force you into a podcast once a week with me.
Yeah. Here we go.
So there's the intro. Here's the guy. He's the best. Ryan, I love you forever. And funny enough, like now you are Love Ryan, right? This is your kind of pottery branding? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love Ryan Ceramics.
Love Ryan
I guess
Ceramics.
it all started because I was no,
Go ahead.
I used to just write Love Ryan on the bottom of all my pots because they were all gifts.
Yeah.
Started doing it as a hobby, and I guess it just kind of evolved into that, and then yeah, now it's just Love Ryan Ceramics, I guess.
Did you and these are like, I don't get enough of you, so I'm going to ask you questions that's almost like an interview, but it's really just interesting, Matt. Like, did you expect to stay on that side of the world when you went down there, with all that you had going on down there? And then did you really see yourself successfully running a pottery studio and kind of, passing on this very kind of therapeutic spirituality of grabbing dirt from the ground, making pots out of it to all these other people? Like, did you think this was your calling, or like what the fuck? Like, how,
No,
how did it fall into that for you?
never in a million years did I think I'd be a potter or an artist or let alone a teacher. I don't think. I did a lot of training. Like I trained a lot of people. I was in hospitality for, you know, with you and then for, 20 years after that. Like just had been in hospitality for a long time. stepped out of it and I got into the digital realm. We were doing Pinky's Iron Doors, just manufacturing doors and shipping them nationally through California. And I was at a desk all day, and it made me crazy. I was addicted to my phone, and this was 10 years ago. I was addicted to my phone before. It's even worse now with people, but I think for me to have that moment where I would just like I needed to put it down. I wanted to be where I was, and I found it's so cathartic, pottery and wheel throwing. I found it very like therapeutic and for myself, and I was like, oh wow, this is. And I found it very healing for me just to be able to be somewhere at a time. And I used a lot of form of moving meditation throughout my life. First it was getting tattooed, and then it was running. When I would go for a long run, I found it very like to clear my head and just, like think through all the bits and then leave feeling a little bit better. And I found the same feeling with pottery. So yeah, I never thought that I would end up continuing to do this when I stepped back into the workforce. Like I left America um in 2017 and went traveling for I was going to go for a month or two, and then it turned into a year. And yeah, when I after 2 years I had to start working again because I spent all my savings. And as I started to step back into the workforce, people wanted to learn how to do pottery. They wanted to buy new bowls for their house. They wanted to, get gifts for and custom things made for people. And I was like, oh, I can do that. And so being able to use clay to fulfill all those needs for people and myself, I feel is like I'm so lucky.
Yeah, I mean, what you have in Sydney is amazing. You know, you open up that bay door to the ocean, and it's the most right you can feel. You know, the people that are listening out there, I got off a plane, and if you don't know, the trip from LA to Sydney is like 14 hours on a plane, and you get off a plane and you skip the day of life, and you really don't know what the hell is going on. Your mind is just you're twisted up. And I grabbed Alex Calvert, you remember the younger guy, and Adam Fergus,
Yep.
The Irish dude. And we came down, and next thing you know, we were enjoying ourselves and making pots at like 9 o'clock in the morning, fresh off the plane with the ocean breeze blowing in. And it felt like therapy. It felt like a buzz. It felt like a high, like you were saying, like when you run, you get that high, that runner's high, and you've found that same therapy within the pottery. And it's just crazy, man, because you've been gone for 7 years or so, like you said, and then you think you went where you went for a year or two, and then you ended up in Sydney, and then now you've grown this pottery thing, and it's so awesome. And I've luckily got to see you because I've come down and done conventions there, at least once a year since you've been gone. But I want you back in the United States, bro.
Yeah. I mean, say I would love to be able to go between here and there and like make a little
Yeah,
bit of like an endless summer kind of situation,
yeah,
like come there, do a little bit of work, enjoy California because it's so beautiful, man. Like all of America, the landscape is so vast and changing. It's like even growing up there and living there all my adult life, I still haven't seen all of it. Like I've never been in Montana
yeah.
or
Me
North
either.
Dakota. Like I haven't been to Wyoming. I haven't seen all these beautiful places that Australians tell me how beautiful they are. Like, oh, you haven't been to, because they'll go and travel across the whole thing. Because it's like seeing 50 different countries in one.
If you had a bucket list trip to come back to the States and you had, like, let's say 14 days to do anything and everything, like let's go from whatever camping in Zion National Park in Utah to going
Mm.
up and going up to Maine and I don't know, hunting in the forest or something. Like what's your American lineup other than like me and you in an old lowrider drinking Red Bull and vodkas from
Uh,
11 a.m. and trying to see how long we could go.
dude, can you remember
No, man.
that?
I have the greatest memories of my entire life, and I don't want to get off the question. We could come back to our what's
No.
Dur's amazing America bucket list, but dude, all of my best living in Los Angeles was when you were here, and I don't want to say like everything
Mm,
shut down when you left. But you left like 7, 8 years ago. I had a kid. You got to focus all your energy there to, on this little person. But pre that,
mm.
our days when you had a day off and I had a day off and there was nothing to do but go make memories, bro.
Yeah. So fun,
Capital,
man.
capital good time.
Yes, I think that's the thing about California or Los Angeles in general is that you can do anything. Like it's
Yeah.
so the accessibility to whatever you want to do. You're like, oh, should we go ride a giraffe today? And you could go ride a giraffe. You could ride on a hot balloon ride. Like you could do. It's just it really is endless. And I think if you have the positive mental attitude and you're like, let's just make the best of this, you really can like thrive with
You're
your
that
day off
person
there,
though.
even if you only have one.
You
Mhm.
are that. I feel like you are that person for all of those people out there that are like me, who are kind of dark and like to get down and crazy. Like you're always the person that's like, hey man, shake that off. Let's go have a good time and make a memory out of this day. And I think when you left, our circle dispersed a little bit, because it was kind of like, hey, there's
Mm,
Durr, and then you have all these satellite people that were connected that shouldn't have been, but because of you, we were all connected to you, and you had like these tentacles kind of pulling us all into this unique, weird, super creative Hollywood group of like the coolest people ever, capable of this, capable of that, creative in
mm.
all different directions. I just I our good old days in LA, the saying, I hate the saying, but I love it so much. I wish we knew they were the good old days when they were the good old days.
Yeah, no, totally, man. I get
Yeah.
it. I think for me, and that's why I have that attitude because I think I always do. I always know this is it. Like this is the best it's gonna get. This is the youngest I'm ever gonna be. This is all those things. I think you lose enough in your life, and then you start realizing that like these are the moments right here. As you can start to reflect back on the old ones, and you're like, oh wait, I'm still lucky enough to still being able to make these new ones. Like who knew right now? Fuck, I see that picture of me in your background. That was at your wedding week, wasn't it?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
14 years ago, dude. And that picture, I guess
It's
people have,
funny, I look bald.
you were bald, bro. You had a shaved head.
No, I know, but it looks like I couldn't grow any.
Nah, man. You just look like a dude, a kid from Florida, man. That's what you look like. And
Wow.
this was the night after my bachelor party, after we absolutely turned it on. I remember,
Yeah,
yeah, there was some vomiting happening, but then you finally got me out of bed at like noon, drug me down to the
totally.
pool, and you were like, this will help you. Blah.
Whoa.
Oh,
Breakfast
Coors Light.
beers.
Hey, shout out to Coors Light for keeping it cool and keeping it
Coors
courageous.
Light
Coors Light
forever. Tap the
forever.
Rockies.
Tap the Rockies. Um so, man, it's funny because I knew this would happen when I started talking to you. I wouldn't be able to keep on a subject because my brain has so many memories that just shoot back of just random everything that we've done in this town. And these Mandy brought up something
I know we
funny.
need to get freshmen on this thing.
Bro, funny enough, he's in a cubicle somewhere. I can't get him out.
Dude, I
he's
tell you what.
he is a slave to the 9 to 5. I'm trying to, yeah, I talk to him every now and then, but him and Susanna are doing their thing. So, whatever. We all gotta get by some way, somehow. Mandy made fun of me the other day. We were talking about at a certain point you were running Rock and Riley's, and I guess you guys used to have like a big block party. There's
Yeah.
like a daytime St. Patty's Day party. And I think at the time you were buddying up with Nick Swartzen, and Nick Swartzen was out there. And then there was some like band filming something like in the bar, like a famous, like kind of
Oh yeah.
boy band. I don't know if,
It was like One Direction, I think.
yeah, it was like one of those.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
And then the lead singer guy was on the bar and they were filming something, and he was pouring whiskey to all the girls, like out of the bottle, like for the music video from the bar. And then I was like, nah, me, man. And I walked up and he poured like a half a bottle of like Jameson down my throat. And I was like,
Oh.
yeah, all that free whiskey. And I just remember, and I'm not proud of this moment, but I want to put myself on blast because Mandy brought it up, and I thought it was quite funny. Minutes later, I was outside in the street on Sunset. So outside of Rock and Riley's, you guys would like close down, and Nick Swartzen is out there, and he's smoking a cigarette. And I walk up to him like I know him because I've seen you with him so many times. And I've never really met him, but like once or twice. And like, but you've been buddies with him. So I'm like, I must know this guy in my drunken state. And I walk up to him and I grab the cigarette out of his mouth and I put it in my nose and I go, and I take a hit of this guy's cigarette who I thought I know, but didn't know me. And he was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" In classic Nick Swartzen style. And I was like, "Thanks, Josh. I appreciate you so much, Josh Swartzen," and walked away.
Oh
And then I puked in the
my
cab ride like 30
God.
minutes later on the way home. And my buddy Drew was in town, I think, and he had to pay like $80 to the cab driver to clean the vomit off the inside of the
Oh
van
yeah.
window, or the cab driver wouldn't leave. So Mandy brought that up. That's what 14 years of marriage does. They bring up all your shining moments.
Totally, bro. Man, that party was the at the time, that was the largest St. Patrick's Day party in the nation.
Yeah,
There was
felt
like
like it.
5,000 people come to that parking lot and like it was so good.
So good. And what a great
Yeah.
spot, right? Like where it was like almost across from the Viper Room and down from the Comedy Store, like the Sunset Strip in its dopest, most epicness. What was left
Yeah.
of it? You haven't been
I
back
mean,
in a
yeah,
long time.
yeah.
Like since the pandemic, it's just different. It's still there. It
Mm,
still exists. It's just the nightlife is a little more dangerous. A little more crap happens and gets shaken out, unfortunately. But
yeah.
whatever. I got great memories of the city. Uh, I wanted to ask you earlier, not so much about your bucket list of what you would do if you went back to Florida, but like the family aspect of it, being that most of your family's far away. How is that? How is that weigh on you day to day? And at like what point did you become peace with the idea that like, yeah, that's my family and they're there and I'm here and this is my life and like how do you make peace with being so far away, right? Like as I'm in the same country as my family, although I never see them because they're in Florida as well and I never really make that trip, so I see them
Mm,
once a year if I'm lucky. But I can't imagine being over an ocean where you can't just hop on a short flight and go see somebody. You got to hop on a 15-hour flight, then a 5-hour flight. You got to really work for that. Has it been hard for you, or you think it's been kind of growth journey for you?
I mean, I moved out of Florida, I was in my early 20s when I left Florida, so I went to California. And yeah, I was used to only seeing my family, once a year. I'd go after the holidays, and being American, you only get 2 weeks off a year, and then that comes off of your sick days. So you really only get like 10 days off, maybe, or 12. And so I would spend that time going home to see my family, my grandparents, my nieces and my nephews and all those bits and pieces. And I think when I left and during the pandemic, I actually I lost three of my grandparents during that time. And so I couldn't get back. And I think that was like really the hardest part for me during that is like when something does happen, like no one could foresee a global pandemic happening and everything getting locked down. Like fuck, it never happened. It didn't happen in my whole lifetime until it did, like so you don't
Right.
really like kind of prepare for those bits and pieces. And when it did happen, I think it was really, I think, really hard for me. I just like it was hard to grieve, it was hard to heal, it was hard to, connect with my family, really just seeing them on Zoom and it was like hard, I guess. I think now when I look at it, even though it's only a 20, if you say it is a 20-hour travel instead of 5, it's still a day of travel. And so I can still make it happen with the technology the way it is. I talked to my mom yesterday. I talked to my dad, 2 days ago, being able to like call them and video chat with them to be able to do this with you now is like I'm like fuck yeah, half the time like technology, man, get rid of it, it's worthless, you
Yeah.
guys are all turning into sheep. And then on the other hand, I'm like wow, I'm so grateful that I get to see you and look at you and have a conversation with you, and when I'm done I still feel fulfilled, and I still feel that like that love like overflowing when I get to connect to like my friends and my family from away. But it is difficult, and I think that I always look at it like I looked at my grandparents before me and the family before me, like my my grandfather migrated to America when he was a teenager. And so I get to now have that same, uh, if I do have kids, or, even with my nieces and nephews, I migrated to Australia,
Totally.
in my life. And so now I get to start this whole new chapter of my life, like, a second generation born American from my dad's side that now gets to migrate to another country and start another life here. And I think it's really like beautiful and freeing as well that I get to have all these beautiful connections that I had in America. I can tether across the sea and still keep them and still connect with people and text them when I'm thinking about them and call them when I need them. And that kind of stuff I think is really important to keep those connections alive and to let people know when you're thinking about them because they'll never know and then you'll die without it, like it really is like even if I don't have time to talk and I'm like, oh man, I'm thinking of you. I just try to let them know I'm thinking of you, man. Like, how you going? Or what's this? And or a picture pops in my memory and I just instantly just forward it to that person and then just let it like sit there even if they don't write back. For me, I know like, oh, this is keeping that alive within myself.
You've always been so good at that thing. And I think that's why so many uniquely different people have been attracted to you as a friend or as a partner or whatever, throughout your life. Like I've seen you through different relationships, both romantic and non romantic. Like, your friends circle is so from A-list celebrities to guys that are or in organized crime, like everybody will
Yeah.
call you to feel good or to make sense out of it, and it's because you've always communicated just that. Like just a text message going, hey man, I just had a dream about you last night, I just want to say what's up, I don't have time to talk, is something
Mm,
that people don't do regularly because they feel bad. They'll be like, I'm just going to not say anything, which you don't realize leaves people up to assumption. And then once you start assuming things like,
mm.
oh, maybe they don't like me, maybe they're mad at me, maybe I didn't say the right thing, maybe I didn't do the right thing, you were always the guy that like grabbed the phone and was like, yo, look at this stupid picture of you with your pants down at the urinal. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh
Like,
shit. Yeah.
and this is how you feel, like the way you laugh, you have like the Seth Rogen, like a very intoxicating a laugh that when people hear it, like we want to laugh, we want to mimic it, not on purpose, but because it feels good to laugh like
Yeah,
you
it does
laugh,
feel
like a
good.
like absolutely free, real. I'm not trying to be an actor or laugh the right way because I'm in Hollywood. Like you were the realness in
Mm,
so many. You were like the grounding factor in all of our lives. Like that's it. And it's
mm,
because you're a good communicator. And now that I've been married 14 years and through all the therapy that money can buy, you realize that communication is everything. And so, however you're
yeah.
parents raised you or whatever circumstance you were brought up in to say exactly what you feel and when you feel it, man, good job. Like good job
Uh,
on your side
yeah,
of
they did
stuff for
good.
like bringing up a human being the right way, like just say it,
Mm,
don't keep it inside, like say it, let's move forward, let's find a solution, let's find how to grow, let's change our perspective together.
mm.
And yeah, you've always had that, and I think it's good. I don't know if you know that about yourself.
I guess I do from, honestly, I think that we're all like little mirrors of each other. And so no matter what industry or what capacity, like somebody or you're attached to them, there's a little bit in them that you see in yourself. And I think that, even with you and the way that you communicate, yeah. At first was a little bit, rough and rough and ready. Yeah, but as you've grown and learned, it gets better and better. And I think that's how all of us are. We see that little bit in ourselves. We're like, oh yeah, and you can kind of connect to that part, and you absorb a little bit more of it, and then we all kind of like get little bits and pieces from each other that helps us like really become whole. And I
Yeah.
think that's what community really does. Like friends, family, community, that all really like holding each other accountable for things and letting each other know that it's okay to fail. It's okay to have, it's okay to be sad. It's okay to have feelings. Like that's why we're here. The human
Yeah.
experience is all about feelings, man. I'm hungry, I'm tired, I'm sad, I'm happy. It's all of it is something that you feel, and then you can, turn that into words with the best, because then you can kind of share that experience and how you feel with other people, and then they can connect to it too, and they can, grow from it.
Yeah, man. It's like it's taken me 42 years on this earth of failing and trying again to realize like pretty much
Mm,
it's just community and communication. And what those two things equate to me is the life's journey is just your relationships with people. There's nothing else.
yeah.
I don't know that anything else matters. It's just shit to do or shit to buy or stuff to go see or, oh, go see the food trucks in the parking lot so we have something to do on Thursday night. Like everything's just a thing to take up time.
Mm,
And the only journey that you're on is getting in a relationship with another person and then nurturing and communicating that relationship till you die, because I want to care
yeah.
about you and I want to have all the good thoughts and all the painful thoughts and everything. That's what I'm going to take with me in my soul when I'm gone. And that's what I want to leave with
Mm,
you. I want to leave my mark on you. So, like, sometimes when you're in your grave, you literally giggle a little bit in your past life at the dumb shit we did together, you know? Like,
yeah.
and it took me 42 years to realize it's just relationships. There's nothing else. Have as many
Mm,
relationships with as many people that you could find love in and have empathy and sympathy for as possible, and then communicate with them and make them your community. End of story. Mic
yeah.
drop. Mic drop. Like, what is life? There it is, bro. That's all it is. That
People helping people.
people
Yeah,
helping people, right? And if you don't help people right, then you get the hurt people thing, because you're not
totally.
helping people and you're so hurt that you got to hurt other people. um yeah, you've somehow been probably the biggest inspiration of all those life lessons in my life, just because our relationship, we've
Mm,
been at odds, we've been closer most of the time in our relationship, but there's
yeah,
times when we've been pissed off at each other and we just, hey man, Matt, you can't
totally.
be like that. You can't be like that. And I think you probably said this to me a long, long time ago, and it was something like this. I'm paraphrasing it, but the only reason people grow to be assholes in the world is because they don't like have good friends to say, hey man, stop being an asshole. Like, you're going to
Mm,
keep developing down asshole alley unless I veer you off that road, and I'm your friend. I care about you. So don't treat people like that. You got to have relationships to have a friend good enough to tell you that, right?
yeah, yeah. You gotta. Then I think that's the thing, holding your friends accountable. Obviously, in a fucking more gentle way than I think we used to do as we were younger. But like you don't just like knuckle up with your friend and then explain it to him later. Now it's like we use words and it's great. But I think that yeah, holding your friends accountable. What is there's a kind of a saying I think that goes to it, but it's reward in public and discipline in private. Like if they are doing something that that is like a little bit, but do it off to the side. Have a moment. Call them the
Yeah.
next day. It doesn't have to be right now, but it's good to like celebrate them when they're doing amazing and how proud you are of them, but also be like, hey man, that wasn't fucking too cool. Let's try to like not do that anymore. Because it really does. It affects all your relationships, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, and it's like you don't want to feel bad about yourself. And then you, like, sometimes we do a thing that's out of our character that we didn't really want to do. We reacted because we were feeling a certain way. And then you can't, sometimes your ego won't let you go make right of it. And then you hold it and it gets
Mm,
darker and it gets bigger and it gets darker. And you let it push you down rather than go, man, hey, I messed up. I love you. That was out of, whatever it is. Just not even an
yeah.
apology, but just a recognizing of, hey, that's not the right way to live or be your friend. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah, your ego's not your amigo.
No, bro, you've made all my favorite sayings that I passed down to Macklin. Um, First out, rock out with your rooster out, which I had to change it for Macklin a little bit.
Yeah.
What are the other ones? Attitude of gratitude, which is actually, like, funny enough, from this Stoics book, is it says
Oh,
attitude of
right.
gratitude in here, but that's the thing you've said to me like our whole life. And then which one you just said right there?
Oh, your ego's not your amigo.
Your ego's not your amigo. Have an attitude of gratitude. Oh, teamwork makes the dream work. These are my son's sayings. Literally, you're, first of all, if the world doesn't know, I guess we should tell them now. You're the godfather of my child. Should I jump off a cliff tonight or get pushed? You
Yeah.
got
Oh.
you got to deal with it. You got to deal with my kid and my wife. And I couldn't be happier about that. So, you know,
Mm. I know. I was talking about it the other day. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a godfather. Watch out.
yeah,
I
bro.
might get
Two
one.
to a
They're like, "Oh,
wild
you're not
one.
having kids." I'm like, "I already have it. I already have a kid, kind of. He's over. He's like with his mom and dad now, but it could be mine." I could have like my real Bruce Wayne moment.
Yeah, 100%. And it's real enough that like he's 10, he just graduated fourth grade today. He's going into fifth grade. Like
Boom.
he could be hopping on a plane in the next year or two just to go see you solo. Like he's that kind of advanced kid that he's already, man, he's legit. He's the coolest thing I've ever done with my life. I could tell you that by a long shot. He's
Too.
dude, every time I see him, I'm literally I look at him and I go, yo, what? I did a lot of bad things. Why is he so good? And then I look at Mandy and I go, man, the relationship you always subconsciously or consciously, I think, want for your child what you didn't have. And to this day, I've never met my mother. So to see my kid with not a mother, but the mother of
Mm,
mothers,
the
like
mother.
homeschool
Totally.
teacher, like organic meal maker, like superhero. I'll throw a jab and a right and a hook and knock a dude out, lady. And I'm 5'3", 100
Mm.
pounds. Like I hit the mom wife lotto, and my kid is just like, is dude, he's just, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And it's
Yeah. No, bro. I get it.
like to be part of it, just to walk, and then I feel, you never feel like enough because she's so great. You feel like,
Mm.
wow, what can I even offer? Like I can show them how to, skip rope really cool and pop a,
Yeah.
ollie on a skateboard. Like, but I don't know where I fit in. And you're just happy to be here. So,
Mm.
I don't know how I started talking about how my amazing family, but I'm just lucky to be a part of them. And, this just sitting with you and being able to talk with you and knowing that people will watch and listen to our conversations. I love this. And I can't believe I didn't start when we should have started a podcast 20 years ago because everybody would love just our vibe and conversations. Like, yeah, this is day one. We're going over historical moments and whatnot, but these
It's true.
conversations will get wild. And there will be nights now that you can do it easily from your phone where, dude, you can be out at a cool venue you want to show us in Sydney or out and about, and we could just pop on for 10 minutes. And, it's cool to be from LA to Sydney. I like that.
No,
And
it's such a like it's
yeah,
there have so many similarities that these two places, as you know. It's like
dude,
really it they really if it's like LA, but in the 40s maybe when there wasn't this many, that many people. Like it's the same, the population is just so small
I
that
love
it but it,
Australia, man. You know how I feel about
same.
that place. Like I
No, I'm me too, man. I'm here.
love it a lot. I could easily live there. I haven't been to New Zealand, but just based off, what you shared with me from your time there, I was like, I could do it. I could do it tomorrow, like real quick. If I came into a lump of money, I would try to buy something small on that side of the world, no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's the one, bro. It's so good here.
Yeah.
Yeah, here, look, let's have a
Yeah, yeah. Let's
look
give
at
him the view. So everybody, he's going
well,
to take us on a little tour, but this is where Adam Fergus and Al Cal and I went and spun some pots, which everybody has. His internet's going to get a little glitchy, but we're going to give him a second. I'll keep talking. You froze the last time you took a step outside your building, so now I can't see you. I don't even know if you can hear me. I'll keep talking because it froze on a weird image of your face. Are you there?
okay.
So much for that Sydney, Australia internet. We got to get a whatchamacallit, a Starlink down there to you. Bro, you're gone. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, we're experiencing some technical difficulties. Bear with us. I tried to get him to walk outside. His beautiful pottery studio opens up to the ocean coastline, maybe 100 yards from the door, and it is gorgeous. You're looking, right out into the ocean in Sydney. You can hear the waves. The air is just wonderful. People are jogging by. It's super, super cool. All right, I'm letting him back in. Let's see. I'm letting you back in, bro.
Dang, sorry, man.
Hey, it's all good. I just kept on talking and it'll be good. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna get you a Starlink, a mobile Starlink. That's what you need. You need high speed internet down there.
Yeah, this is like I'm like in the cave
Yeah, but you could
on the
so the
on the
star
cliffs.
listen, I'm not sponsored by Starlink. Turn your phone sideways.
Oh,
I'm not sponsored by Starlink, but I will tell you this. Yeah, there's the view. That's all I wanted them to see. No, you're gonna lose us again. Back up.
Oh yeah, back up.
So
Okay.
we're gonna get you a Starlink Mini. You put it right outside with a clear view of the sky. So right outside your garage door, and you'll have the fastest internet available. Starlink, you should send us one for free because I'm such a good advertiser. Look at that ocean. What's that ocean called? What is that? The
Yeah.
Pacific?
Oh, I think it's the Indian Ocean. Is it?
Is it the Indian Ocean? Isn't wouldn't that be in? I don't. I'm gonna
Or
just
The Tasman Sea.
Tasmanian
It's
Sea.
no, Tasman.
Isn't the Indian Ocean on the
It's,
other side of the world?
yeah, but the India is above us. Like I'm on the Sydney
Oh,
side.
so
I'm
maybe on the Perth
on the East
coast.
Coast. Like on the Northern Territory is where India is up there, but I'm not sure if that India is the Indian Ocean. Damn, we look like idiots. I don't even know where I am.
It's good. That's why
Yeah.
people like this podcast. They'll know we were educated in the great US of A.
Yeah.
um, this isn't a geo.
No, because you're on the Pacific.
I'm on
And
the
then Florida's the
Pacific.
Atlantic, but I'm on the other side.
Yeah, we're lost at sea for sure. We don't even know where we
There's
are.
more than just the Pacific and the Atlantic. Those are just the ones that touch America. There's other ones.
I don't think you're correct about that. You might be making up stuff. I know there's the Great
That
Lakes,
is
man.
correct.
The Great Lakes of Michigan.
No, yeah, there are Great Lakes.
What about the Gulf of
What
America?
are the
You heard
Great
it?
Lakes? Name
Did
them
you
all. Name
did you
them.
hear about the Gulf of America? Erie,
Dude, I Googled it from here. Yeah, Erie?
Hudson. Is that Lake Hudson? No, it's in New
No,
York.
the Hudson's a river.
That's in New York. Hold on, let me give me another chance.
Lake Superior? Oh,
Superior,
okay.
Erie. Okay, okay, okay. You know them all? You don't know them all.
No, no, of
Erie,
course not. There's five, right?
Superior. I feel like one would be called Lake Michigan.
Yep.
I don't know. Give me two more. I got nothing.
Is it Lake Erie? Is Lake Erie the other one? Lake Erie?
I feel like I said that one already. Lake Erie. That's the one everybody knows.
No, you didn't.
I said
Is
Lake
it?
Erie. Your bad internet lets you not hear
Oh,
me.
sorry. I know. Starlink,
What
help
what are
us.
the last two? Bro, you're glitching up on me.
Lake
I'm not having
Superior,
this. I'm
Lake
getting you,
Erie,
I'm getting
Lake
you a Starlink
Michigan.
Superior
Ching, ching,
Erie.
ching. Nah, 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 nah.
We're robots. All right. Let's wrap this up for today. How long have we done? I can't even tell a timer. When did we start?
30
3
minutes, maybe? I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's pretty
I
good.
wrecked it.
We
'Cause
could keep on going. We got to get your internet better. We got to get all the apps closed out on your video device. Let's
oh,
so
yeah, I definitely have a million things open right now.
I have to you're out of town Sunday to Sunday, yeah?
Yeah, Sunday to Saturday.
Sunday to Saturday. So let's aim for next Monday
Okay.
and let's do this again and whatever. We'll just hop on and chat about
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff, man. I
Yeah,
love
bro.
it. I love it.
Sam.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this was the very first episode of me and my new co-host, one of my new co-hosts. Whenever my brother wants to show back up, he'll be on here too. But for now, it's me and Macklin and Durr. And you guys could call him Durr because that's what I call him. DER is his last name. His first name's Ryan. His middle name's P. You'll learn it when he decides to tell you it. He lives in Sydney, Australia. He does love Ryan Ceramics. And you should definitely stop by his studio, get your hands in the mud, and let your soul scream from happiness as you feel the ocean breeze on your face. All right, folks, that's it. If you need some pottery and you want to get some pottery done, where can they find you, Ryan? I need to plug you because we've never done this before.
Oh, loveryanceramics.com
LoveRyanCeramics.com
is my
and
website.
social medias.
Love Ryan Ceramics is my Instagram. That's it.
There you have it, folks. He is he is very linear. He is Love Ryan Ceramics. I'm going to spell it for you because I feel like that's the right thing to do. LOVERYAN Ceramics. However you spell that, that's above my pay grade.
I was waiting.
All right, folks.
Because I can spell ceramics.
We're leaving out of here. Say bye to the people.
Bye. I love you. I love you.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.